Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I appreciate it. And thank you to Mia and the state of Vermont for purchasing battery safety products for the various transfer stations throughout the state, as well as HHW facilities. Vermont is the first state to make this type of investment in protecting people and property at their local transfer stations and HHW facilities. So hats off to the state for doing that. So again, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Basically just going to walk through a little overview of batteries and then quickly go into some of the various products that folks will be receiving through the program. Just in case you're not familiar with Call to Recycle is a nonprofit organization that has a mission to keep batteries out of the waste stream. We've been collecting batteries since 1996. We've collected over 140 million pounds of batteries for recycling since then. Call to Recycle does have the approved primary battery stewardship plan in the state of Vermont. As far as the program goes, here's just a quick overview of the batteries that we can recycle through the Call to Recycle program. In Vermont, we can take both rechargeable batteries as well as primary or single-use batteries. The rechargeable batteries that we can accept are nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, small sealed lead acid batteries, lithium ion batteries, as well as primary or single-use batteries, and there's a couple of different categories of those. The dominant one is what we refer to as an alkaline battery, which is your typical AA, AAA, but there are also other types of primary batteries, one being of note, lithium primary batteries or lithium metal batteries, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, Call to Recycle has the only approved plan for primary battery stewardship in the state of Vermont. We work with over 20 manufacturers to keep them in compliance with the regulation. This law went into effect in 2016. Consumers and collection sites can recycle single-use batteries at no cost. We've been collecting rechargeable batteries since the mid-90s in Vermont at no cost. So the passage of this law just allowed us to then actually make this an all battery collection program at no cost to the consumer or the collection site. And last year, we recycled nearly 150,000 pounds of single-use or primary batteries in the state. So as I mentioned, there's a couple of different types of battery chemistries are out there, and Mia mentioned it as well. The ones of note and that are really taking over the marketplace and have been for the last probably 5 or 8 years are lithium batteries, and those lithium batteries are everywhere. And there's two main types of lithium batteries. One is a single-use or primary battery, and that's often referred to as a lithium metal battery. You'll see those at the pegs at grocery stores, and they're typically have a blue ribbon around them, or they'll be silver with blue text on them. They typically do say lithium on them, the cylindrical ones at least. The other more common form factor lithium metal battery that you'll see is what's referred to as a coin cell. It literally looks like a nickel. Same size, very similar thickness. And those often power like your key fobs for your cars or garage door openers, and there's a number of other products that those types of batteries power, and those are lithium batteries. The ones that look like a shirt button, those are not lithium batteries. It's the flat coin looking ones that are. The second type of lithium battery that you're going to see in the marketplace are rechargeable lithium batteries, often referred to as lithium ion batteries. Now, these batteries power pretty much everything that we use on a daily basis, from electric razor, electric toothbrush, your phone, your laptop, your tablet, anything that's rechargeable at this point, most likely all the way up to an electric vehicle, is going to be powered by some type of a lithium ion battery, which is great because lithium-ion batteries also allow for a number of different form factors, meaning they can be made into different shapes and sizes and energy densities, which basically can make a battery more powerful. But kind of with that comes responsibility, and responsibility in this manner is, what do we do with this battery at the end of its useful life? Or if there is a situation, an emergency, what do we do with that battery? Just so everybody knows, I'm not sure if everyone's seen a thermal event which is actually a battery fire kind of in action. So this video just shows that there's a couple of little push pins here, but I'll let this play out, and as you'll see, it goes pretty quickly. As you can see, there was a small push pin in there, and all it took was them just to kind of further push that pin in, and it went into thermal runaway. That smoke was actually flammable gas. So typically when there's a spark, that flammable gas will then catch on fire. And then the real big issue is it's the secondary fire, right? It's what else is being caught on fire. Often you may or may not have heard about the many issues with micromobility or e-bike fires in New York City, and that is one of the issues. It's obviously the start of it is the battery overheating and going into thermal runaway, but the bigger issue is that it is then catching walls and doors on fire, so people aren't able to get out of their apartments. So as I mentioned, the state of Vermont has purchased a number of battery safety products, and this is the first. And this is going to transfer stations and recycling facilities, as well as HHW facilities. This is a lithium-ion battery incident kit. And this was created in the same vein as eyewash station or defibrillator hanging on the wall. It's something that is, easily deployable. It is there in case of emergency. Everyone knows where it is, and it has all of the tools should a battery go into thermal runaway that can be used to extinguish the fire. There's PPE, there are high heat gloves and goggles to put on. There's a fire suppressant pillow. That pillow will actually goes directly over the battery device that's going into thermal runaway. That will extinguish the fire. There are little beads inside of it that will melt around the battery and encapsulate it and suffocate it. And then there's a fire blanket that goes over that while that fire is being put out that controls the flame so there's no secondary fire. This is a really great tool. Obviously, just like a defibrillator and an eyewash station, you hope it just sits there to collect dust. But if there is an incident, it is there. Most important thing, is to train employees as in any SOP for any procedure, whether it's emergency or non-emergency. Proper training of this is required. There's a QR code on the inside which you can scan, which provides some further information on what to do and how to use the product in case there is a fire. One of the pieces with any of us collecting electronics or collecting batteries for that matter, you're going to see what's referred to as damaged or defective batteries. These batteries are often ones that have been dropped and the casing's cracked, they're punctured, they're swollen. If anyone has kids or grandkids that have the Capri Sun pouches, they immediately drink them and then blow them up. So if your battery that is supposed to look flat looks like a Capri Sun pouch that's been emptied and blown up, then that is certainly a damaged or defective battery. Bottom line of whether it's a swollen battery, whether it's punctured, whether the casing's broken and cells or electronics are falling out, those batteries are considered a damaged defective battery and cannot be shipped in the normal call to recycle collection box or in any type of normal end-of-life battery recycling program. They need to be handled in a special manner. So, obviously you're going to see these residents are going to come to you and say, hey, I have this battery. When you do see them, this is an opportunity for you to compliantly and safely ship those damaged batteries for recycling. So you'll receive one of these kits. You can open this kit up and there's actually a foldable pillow inside of it. And it's made of the same material that the fire suppressant pillow is made of in the battery incident kit. This one is actually just sewn to sort of lay over the battery. So you'll pull the top back, place the battery there, put it back down, seal the container. It comes with prepaid shipping labels that go back UPS ground, and you'll be able to properly recycle that battery in a safe and compliant manner. Again, these batteries cannot go into your normal called recycle collection boxes. They do have to be handled in a special manner. The HHW facilities, in addition to some of the other products, will be receiving some storage units, and those are in either a 5-gallon or a 55-gallon container. These are for higher volume facilities, and they're not used for shipping in this purpose. It's really used for storage. So if you do get a damaged defective battery, you can put it in these containers and hold it until you're ready to ship it. It actually is placed in cell block EX, which is the dry agent fire suppressant material that's in the pillows in the previous two slides. This is just in a loose form, so you're able to sort of bury that battery in there, and should it go into thermal runaway, it will extinguish it and contain it within the container. So again, these are storage solutions, not shipping solutions, but these are safe storage solutions. Next, and there's been a number of questions around what we refer to, the industry is referring to, high energy batteries. And so we definitely wanted to cover this topic. For a number of years, there are products we never envisioned would be battery powered, but now sort of with the global push for electrification, more and more products are either moving from people power or from gas power over to battery powered products. So whether it's an electric bike, whether it's a lawnmower, snow blower, leaf blower, there's certainly a number of products out there that require a significant amount of energy from a battery to operate. The definition in this case for a high energy battery is any battery that's over 300 watt hours. And you determine the watt hours by basically taking the two numbers that are on the battery itself, which is the voltage and the amp hour, and multiplying them. That will give you the total watt hour of that battery. Again, very similarly to the damaged defective batteries, these high watt hour batteries cannot go in the call to recycle, the normal or traditional call to recycle collection box. They need to be handled in a different manner. Through the state's purchase of battery safety products, some facilities will be receiving a high energy battery kit. In this kit, it holds up to 26 pounds of batteries that are over 300 watt hours. So if you're getting electric bike batteries, if you're getting lawnmower batteries and they are over 300, you're able to put those batteries in this collection box and compliantly and safely ship it for recycling. Again, these do come with prepaid UPS shipping labels, so it is transported via UPS ground. Of other note, Call to Recycle started a electric bike battery take back program a year ago. So we've been operating it since March of 22. And if you go on our drop-off locator, you can find and search for e-bike bike shops that are participating in the program. They will only take the brands of batteries that are supporting the program, because at this point it's a voluntary program that's funded by the manufacturers that are participating, but it is an option you can point your residents to. So if you go to calltorecycle.org/locator, and you can choose e-bike batteries and then type in your zip code, and it will actually list out the spots near you where that people can drop off electric bike batteries. And again, a big thank you to the state of Vermont for this purchase, really taking a leadership role from a perspective of keeping people and property safe within the state. And it's been, really a pleasure working with Mia and all of you to get all of these out there in the different trainings. If there's any questions or comments, I'd be more than happy to take those now, or you can also contact me offline if you have any questions, concerns, or issues. John Malter has a question.
I gave out the kits to my 2 transfer stations, and one of the questions that I had was, in the shipping container, the material for putting the batteries or cell phones that might have bulged out or had a fire. Once you put them in, and if you put one in, and there's still any potential for it to melt additionally, will that create a problem with opening it up again to put more material in, or should you just stop at one and ship it out and get another one replacing it?
Good question. The answer is sort of it depends. But I think generally speaking, you're probably okay to open it and add another battery to it. We work with facilities that are of the mindset of if it's a damaged battery, one damaged battery, we're packaging it up and getting it out. And then others that will wait, until they have a couple to ship. So I think some of it is how risk adverse you are as a facility. I think the other is, the specific battery itself.
How many batteries can they have in there, Todd? In the damage in the DDR?
It's probably a couple. I wouldn't put more than a couple of batteries in there. There's no black and white answer for this because it'll depend. I mean, I would say the majority, if not every single time, you're going to be able to open the box up and put another battery in it. But if it certainly is a battery that does not look good when you put it in, I would recommend just getting it out and having it shipped.
And thank you. And will the folks at Kohler Recycle send a replacement mailing kit as a result of receiving those?
We certainly can. There's a cost associated with it, but yes, we certainly can do that.
Yeah, no, at this time we're not funding a replacement, John. There's no budget for that, but we can discuss that when we get to that place. But as of now, yeah, it's a one and done. We're starting somewhere.
We are.
Pam, you were next, and then Adonis.
I just have two quick questions, sort of a follow-up on what John said. So once the battery kit gets used, then how would they go about getting another battery kit, and what would the cost of that battery kit be?
So they can actually order it directly online. So they can either call us and we can, certainly get out an invoice, or they can go online and purchase the kit online. I will, from a cost perspective, I will look and see if we're going to use those same kits. I will see if we can put like a coupon code in there to knock the price down a little. So I will let you know on that one.
Okay, thank you. And then the second question is, I'm getting questions about batteries that don't seem to have very good labeling on them. So when they find a battery that they just can't, they're having a hard time identifying it, what would be the best procedure for that?
So I would say if it's, and this is very ambiguous, if it's a small kind of consumer type battery, something smaller than a brick, then I would say, put it in a bag and put it in our collection box.
Okay.
The majority of the time that's going to be under 300 watt hours, and it's going to be some level of chargeable battery or a single use battery that we can accept through the program. As far as something that's larger than that, I would say if they could take a picture of it and send it to customer service at calltherecycle.org, and then we can take a peek at it, and maybe just from sort of the form factor and the shape, we can at least figure out like, hey, this looks like a scooter battery, for instance, and those are typically over 300 watt hours, and we've got to figure out what it is and how to move that.
Okay, thank you.
Did Adonis's question get answered?
I think so. Yeah, Adonis was just asking about those are for storage only, the 5 gallon and the 55 gallon drum, but they could connect with Call Recycle on shipping costs, recycling costs. Any other questions come up for folks?
Quick
go ahead.
About training. So I had read or heard something about how everybody that has battery collection needs to go through this training. If we have somebody that like staff changes hands, is it okay for them to just watch this?
Absolutely.
And then just tell you that, okay, so-and-so is now in charge of the batteries and they've watched the training?
Yeah, I mean, it's great if you tell me. There's also going to be a trust system. We want to raise folks' awareness and we want folks to be safe. And so we hope they would be interested in spending the 20 minutes or so to watch this. And if any questions come up at any time, reach out to me and or to Todd. And yes, we'll have a recorded version that Karen edited, and we'll post that up. It should be up on our YouTube page today, and I'll send that out to everybody. Okay. And we're also happy to offer more of these. This is the last one we have scheduled, but we can definitely offer more, and I will connect with folks on that and put out some other dates if people are interested.
Thank you.
You bet. Any other battery related questions? Oh, just wanted to mention, I think it was Pam and then a few other folks had asked for a poster with photos of what types of batteries can go in the box and what must be bagged or taped. And it just made me realize that not all collection sites have that. If anyone's lacking that and needs that, please let myself or Todd know and we can get that to you. Because I know even at our office, the photos are a must for folks. All right, well, I appreciate everybody taking the time this morning, and please let us know anytime if you have questions or strange batteries or anything like that. We're here to help, and have a good rest of the day.